Inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Left comes take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Ready, got 20, 40 got, 40 got. Pilot, 64, weak.
On first down, Stafford here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
No. 80 weapons.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this belongs to the Vikings. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up the block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
A second down throw for Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Like 7. He's coming. We got double up.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Complete to Jones. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing is Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Second and 10, Stafford again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Mike's 54. Right here.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Stephen Weatherly.
That's how we do, dude.
He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to be met at about the 43. In on the tackle, Jalen Reeves-Maybin.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
44, 44, Mike, 44. Get up.
Third and long for Cousins. The open man is Smith. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down. From the red zone now, Cousins. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr. with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
You better be ready. Don't be scared.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. 6-3 is our score after... It's the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Double dog. That's the way.
From the gun, Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Alert! Say. He's checking. Crash. Mike 55.
To throw again, Stafford. The Sanders has got it complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's a baby shot. Watch the safety creep.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now Cousins here on the bootleg, rolling to his right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions will take over.
1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now Cousins. And that's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
25 yards that time.
First down, Vikings.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You know, you get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Give to Cook out of the gun. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Gain of 7 yards.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 20. And the Vikings first down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It's caught, Smith. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
At the Lions' 15-yard line.
Play action now. Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr. with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
At the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Double right. Check 4. Check 4.
Throwing again. Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards for the Lions there and a first down.
That's good for the Lions.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. Now the ball comes loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
40 to hard. Don't get nervous.
Now Cook. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low, but his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford. He'll find Lindsey here. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now Stafford looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Caught by Jones. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you, coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Stafford on 3rd down. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8 at the 48.
Play fake. Cousins. They'll roll him out right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off around the 37. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
After the interception, here's Stafford. This complete to Jones. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A gain of 32 that time. If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense, I got from it, and I think you did as well. They weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
32. Look at him. 55.
Back to throw, Stafford. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. A 5. Yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
A 5-yard gain on the play. Complete to Philip Lindsay. 1st down and goal to go.
Ready? 50, Mike 54. I'm coming.
This looks like a free play for Stafford. And he's going to go down, but a penalty marker too, and they might very well have jumped the snap there. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson in the final seconds of the first half. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. So now this to get themselves a lead here heading into the break. And he puts it through. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Final play of the half. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So a very tight first half. We head to break in a 1-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And this is scooped up by the Lions. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Lady, 10.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
You think you won't get this? You think you won't get this? Look at him.
On first down, Lindsey. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
54. Hey, let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right here. Switch.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Set. 180. Right there. 50. 70. Here we go. Chance.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. And the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Check. Hey, Steve 6.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Yellow.
Here's Cousins. He's got Smith here. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Setting up the screen for Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Pass complete here to Sanders. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
That's good for the Lions. 1st down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
Let him know, let him know.
Now Johnson. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Your track, it's from Omaha, ready to move.
Running the jet sweep with Jones. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check right 54, right 54. Check the outs, check the outs, check the outs.
And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a game. Of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
And the Lions first down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 41. They'll try the air now with Stafford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And he's taken down inside the 30. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice safe throw and a good one.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hawkinson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Result of the play, first down and goal.
And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They'll run with Lindsey. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
Protein spill.
So it'll be 2nd and goal when we return. We've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
53, ready. First on travel. Crunch, crunch.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Philip Lindsey, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. First down. Here's Cousins. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
General West.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Check 3. 218, chop.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Middle. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
Stafford. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
At the 31-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
In your face.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10.
Gun. 44's the mic. 44's mic. Check. Let's get it.
From the gun, here's Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
Ready? 44. Mike, 44.
On first and 10, Cousins. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within one score. Extra point by Moore, up and good, as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
It's now second and 6 at the 33-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
Pull it together. Pilot, 64, weak. Switch. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Now Stafford. He's going to fire one deep, middle, and this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. On first and 10, Stafford. This into the hands of Marvin Hall, complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4.
Any weapon.
To throw is Stafford. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Lions on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is third and 4.
Check 13.
On third down, here's Lindsey. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical third down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. So that'll back them up 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
40 got. 40 got. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Check.
They'll put it in the hands of their receiver, Sanders. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford, open man is Galladay, complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Johnson. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Gets fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games but only led the Vikes to just 1 fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter, going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
We go set. Blue 60, 32. 54. We ain't giving up nothing today. Kill. Hey, alert 3.
They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 18-yard line.
Ready.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. On 2nd down, Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson taking it in. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. A PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. A first down throw for Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing is Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Cousins. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins, he's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
44, Mike, 44.
3rd and long for Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
Ready to break.
54. Mike 54. Wild Bill. Out.
To go.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
On the set.